I see breaking news. Beyond flow. Why Hapkido dominates Aikido in real scenarios. This video will upset many Aikido practitioners, and that is intentional because what you are about to hear attacks something deeper than technique. It attacks belief. Aikido looks impressive when your partner cooperates, when the room is quiet, and when failure has no consequences. But violence doesn't care about harmony. Hapkido was built for resistance, chaos, and people who don't want to play along. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show step by step why one of these systems collapses the moment compliance disappears and why the other ends the fight fast. If you train Aikido, you're probably already angry. Good. That means you're paying attention. If you're teaching Aikido as real-world self-defense in 2026, you're not preserving tradition. You're gambling with your students' safety. Aikido's shortcomings aren't due to its peaceful nature, but because it's often practiced unrealistically, with attackers who overcommit, succumb to momentum-based techniques, and wait their turn. That is not violence. That's choreography. Hapkido does not assume cooperation. It assumes resistance, panic, and bad intentions. It prioritizes breaking balance, joints, and decision-making immediately. If your self-defense requires your attacker to believe in your philosophy, it is not self-defense. I'll show where Aikido fails under resistance and how Hapkido was created to exploit those weaknesses. Section 1, the uncomfortable truth. This will make some people angry. Good. An emotional response is sometimes a necessary precursor to intellectual honesty. This piece is designed to attack a cherished belief, not a person or an entire art form. It attacks the pervasive and dangerous idea that a philosophy of calm, cooperative flow can by itself reliably save you in the brutal chaos of a real street fight. The truth is often simple, direct. For those who have invested years in a particular path, deeply upsetting. The central claim here is not made lightly for the specific and unforgiving context of real-world self-defense. Hapkido provides a more street-proof and reliable edge than Aikido. Aikido, in its most common modern form, is an art of profound beauty. Section 2, the philosophy of flow, understanding Aikido. To fairly critique Aikido, we must first understand its core principle, the concept of blending or waste. The art teaches the student not to meet force with opposing force that often favors the stronger individual. Instead, the practitioner redirects the attacker's momentum into a spiral or circular path where their balance can be easily broken. This is sophisticated. When it works, it feels like magic. The defenders seem to expend almost no energy. It is trained through countless cooperative drills. Uke attacks in stylized ways. Tori blends, redirects, then locks or throws. The Uke's role is crucial. Attack with energy, fall safely, do not resist the drill. Example. Attacker grabs your wrist. Aikido steps offline, turns, uses momentum, finishes with a lock like kotegaeshi. Assuming the attacker keeps moving, maintains grip, doesn't pull back, and doesn't punch with the other hand. This pedagogy builds sensitivity, timing, body mechanics, and balance, learning to feel intention and move efficiently. The problem is predicated on specific attacks and responses, an idealized model that is clean and predictable, lacking the friction and chaos of real violence. The philosophy of flow is beautiful, but it requires a current to flow with. Section 3, where harmony fails, Aikido against resistance. The central failing appears when the attacker is non-cooperative. A real assailant does not act like a training partner. A mugger isn't there to help you practice. They're there to take your wallet, to hurt you, or worse. They push when you expect a pull. They swing wildly when you anticipate clean, linear attacks. Their movements are born of adrenaline and aggression, and they don't provide the clean momentum many techniques rely upon. Without that momentum, the engine of Aikido stalls. Simple scenario, a sudden, violent grab. Rooted, tense, explosive, no forward line to lead. A turning motion meets static tension. You get held in place or ragdolled by superior strength. From behind, space and time vanish. You're slammed into a wall, kneed in the spine, or punched mid-turn. The sequence is disrupted. Real attacks are short, choppy, explosive, planted feet and rotation, not clean lunges. Trying to blend into that is risky. They're not giving energy, They're taking consciousness. Harmony is the last thing on their mind. Section 4, the Trinity of Combat, Hapkido's core principles. Hapkido operates from a different, pragmatic starting point. It does not assume cooperation, only chaos, resistance, a determined adversary. Its Trinity: 1. Hard percussive strikes to disrupt. 2. Joint locks and breaks to control. 3. Throws and grappling to dominate. Standing and on the ground, this integrated system offers adaptability against unpredictability. Striking is paramount. Punches, knife hand chops, elbows, kicks. Often the primary response. Hard, fast strikes to throat, eyes, groin, knee. End the fight before it begins. Break concentration, disrupt balance, cause pain, then transition. The second pillar, locks applied with speed and aggression. Wrist, elbow, shoulder, knee, ankle to force compliance through pain or structural damage. Hapkido expects resistance, overcome with leverage and position, or flow to the next lock. Throws are often direct and brutal for concrete. Not showcase sweeps. Ground control continues the fight. Control, pin, submit. A realistic acknowledgement that fights go to the ground and you must be ready there. Let us apply these philosophies to a practical example. An assailant grabbed your right wrist intending to control or pull you. Aikido might tenkan, step back, pivot 180 degree, redirect pulling energy into a circle. If they cooperate, if they plant, tighten, or yank back, if they punch mid-turn, the flow breaks. You are compromised. Hapkido, strike first, free hand, palm heel to chin or knife hand to the neck, disrupt, cause pain, loosen grip, create advantage. The fight may end there. If not, immediately address the grabbing arm. Small circle wrist or elbow lock, tight, powerful, designed for close quarters. Peel fingers, twist the wrist, force a lock, drive them down. If resisted, transition to an elbow break, a takedown, or more strikes. This multi-layered pragmatic approach is more resilient to real chaos. The single most important factor in real-world effectiveness is training methodology, specifically pressure testing. Pressure testing means techniques against resisting partners actively trying to defeat you. Here the arts split. Hapkido curricula build around sparring, live drills, and genuine opposition. It inoculates you against panic. You learn timing, distance, and the effort to control a struggling person. You discover which techniques hold under duress and which collapse when the partner stops playing along. By contrast, much of Aikido avoids full resistance. Safe, yes, but it risks a false sense of competence. 1,000 perfect throws on a compliant uke give no data on reality. That's dangerous when marketed as self-defense. Training must include chaos, unpredictability, and failure. Fail under resistance in the gym to succeed on the street. Street violence often means two things: the fight going to the ground and multiple attackers. Hapkido trains for both takedown, then control with pins, chokes, and locks. It isn't specialized grappling. It's self-defense ground control to dominate, incapacitate, or stand and escape. Training covers common ground attacks and maintaining dominant positions. By contrast, many Aikido schools treat the throw as the ENDM animal ground training against multiple attackers. Flowing one-on-one techniques turn into liabilities, large movements, exposed angles, static targets. Hapkido creates space, inflicts rapid, decisive damage, lines opponents up, uses one as a shield, and moves with linear power. The goal isn't to beautifully defeat everyone, it's to survive and escape, a survival-first mindset for a terror-filled moment. This is not a wholesale condemnation of Aikido. The art has immense value through the correct lens. For physical grace, balance, timing, a calm mind, Aikido is exceptional. It builds confidence, posture, awareness, and a lifelong path of study. Danger arises when it's sold as top-tier self-defense without stress testing, while relying on compliance and avoiding preemptive striking. Hapkido isn't perfect, no art is. Effectiveness depends on instructor and student, but its core is more realistic for self-defense. By integrating strikes, locks, throws, and ground control, and encouraging resistance and pressure, it provides a more honest feedback loop. The argument is systemic. Hapkido's training paradigm aligns more closely with real-world violence, resistance, chaos, decisive force, strike as primary, locks, throws, ground techniques, and adaptable, resilient system. Aikido, for all its beauty, often fails to bridge compliant training to non-compliant reality. Be brutally honest about your training and goals. Pressure test, add striking, add ground, keep balance, timing, and calm. Teach for stress, under fear, under fatigue, recognize and escape danger? Beauty means nothing if it fails when needed most. Support our channel as we close in on 450 subscribers. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. If you enjoy this content, select a video on your screen, and we will see you there. Thank you.